So I'm going to be reading a short story I wrote entitled Señor Ignacio Peru. To give context, the story takes place in a building in the Bronx. It's the summer. It's the summer. There's been a really severe heat wave, and in the middle of that heat wave, there's a blackout. On the last day of the blackout, a tenant everyone called Señor Ignacio Peru. They don't really know who this person is. They just gave him this name. He dies. The part I'm reading from happens the day after Señor Ignacio's death, when the authorities have removed his body from the building. The blackout has ended, and the authorities have told the building superintendent, Manny, that they will call him with any news regarding Señor Ignacio's death. On Thursday, sometime in the afternoon, the electricity returned, and the call from the authorities was abandoned in the elation of regularity. If Manny, the superintendent, was there to receive the call, whatever was said would have fallen on deaf ears. At that point, the few people still interested were the neighborhood gossipers whose daily palaver was always like small bursts of oil on a frying pan. Some had even dismissed the deaf and concluded that it was a specter of their misfortune, since the authorities had never bothered to question them, and no journalists or local news stations or cameramen had come to report on the incident. Even in the days that followed, Manny found it bizarre that no long-forgotten relatives appeared inquiring about a deceased Peru. There wasn't even mention of his death in any obituary, although no one could honestly say that they had bothered to look. Thus life continued as before, and the importance of a man's death was overshadowed. Men and women worked, money spent, clothes laundered, bills paid, some neglected, dishes washed, crying, books read, hot meals made and consumed. Students studied, television watched, talking, music played, showers taken, love made, words written, stomachs empty, laughter, disputes stirred and settled and stirred again, bladders relieved, thoughts, children's mischief, games played, vices enjoyed, sins committed, prayer, the days beginning and ending, and the everlasting cycle of sleep that leads to rises but never awakenings. A couple of weeks after his death, the old man's follow somehow appeared in the lobby. Some days later, it was on the street in front of the building. It lay there prompting the curiosity of the children who went out to play every day. Despite reprimands, they continued to toy with it until someone told them that if they persisted, the cuco would haunt them until death. Then it remained untouched for months, until some invisible hands removed it. By then, the old man's apartment had been cleared for a new tenant. On the grand concourse, the red and black milk crates eternally remained, subjected to the temperaments of the seasons that came and left. Then one day nature or sanitation swallowed them into nothingness. Now the street is empty, and no one will admit that during any moment of pause, they shudder when they look out the windows and contemplate the street, the night, the day, the cars that pass, or the wandering silhouettes. They view the concrete below and retreat in fear, afraid to admit that in this life ghosts do exist, and more often than not, it's hard to place them in the realm of dreams. Thank you.